what the hell is Bad Cat? Well, it's a foreign adult animated movie that features what appears to be an evil version of Garfield. Like, take away the lasagna and instead replace it with an addiction for booze, cigarettes, and women. That's Bad Cat.
I'm pretty sure he's not even a cat. Like, he walks around on 2 feet. He drinks malt liquor. Oh my God.
No. So people have been recommending this one to me for a while now, but I've been hesitant to review it. I wasn't sure how YouTube would react to it, even if I was able to keep it clean. Though that didn't seem to stop them with my Once Upon a Girl video. I was good. I censored everything. What did I do wrong, YouTube? You bunch of Puritans?
That's disgusting.
But things are different now, I think. Apparently, YouTube is cool with this stuff now, as long as you label it as such. I think. And now they're cool with videos that are more on the mature side? I think. Between them and the government, who can say? But I say, to hell with it. I've been putting this one off for long enough. YouTube, you want this kind of stuff now? Well, good. You came to the right place, and y'all are about to get it with both barrels.
My life.
Alright, so where did Bad Cat begin? Well, the movie is based on a Turkish comic called Kötü Kedi Serafettin, aka Serafettin the Bad Cat, aka Bad Cat. It was created by a guy named Bülent Usten, a Turkish cartoonist who has been creating comics since he was 12 years old. So here's a funny story. I discovered this guy on accident. Let me tell you how this happened. So, I was watching this documentary about cats in Istanbul. According to them, there are like 150,000 cats in the city, and the people who live there are used to it and accept that as part of their culture. And while interviewing this one guy, he started to draw, and I saw those eyebrows, and I thought, hold on, I've seen that face before. Did this guy work on the movie? So I did some homework, and it turns out it's the guy who made the comic. That's Bülent Usten. I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong. I'm sorry, I'm trying my best. But yeah, that's Bülent, and he made the comic, and he was in this cat documentary. Talk about a coincidence. It was really sweet because he talks about his own cat and growing up in the city and how it serves as an inspiration for his own art. Now, from what I can tell from my research, Bad Cat has been a comic series for years now and a favorite amongst Turkish people. Despite coming from a conservative area, a lot of locals delight in the vulgar nature of the comic. The booze, the sex, the nudity. It's all good, bro. We're just here to have a good time.
Say, man, you got a joint?
No, not on me, man.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Now, the main character's name is Serafettin, though they call him Shiro in the dub for the movie, so I'm just gonna call him that. Like I said at the start, Shiro is just an R-rated version of Garfield. Who needs lasagna when you got booze? Though, to be fair, they do have one thing in common. They both abuse the hell out of their owners.
I'm sorry, John.
There are two companies tied to the movie, Anima Istanbul and Kare Kare Film Yapım. According to IMDb, Bad Cat was the first project for Kare Kare and the first animated film for Anima Istanbul. They've got quite the small filmography, and the only other animated thing they worked on was a short called Don't Go, which is quite the surreal experience. It also features a kitty. Aww, kitty. Just give me a moment. I just wanna, it's playing around. It's a little bean paws. Okay, I'm good. As far as the main people involved on the project, you have, and again, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your names, but I'm trying my best. You got Mehmet Kurtulus and IC Uno as the directors. You got Levent Kazak for the screenplay, and then you got Bülent Usten as the main writer, which is pretty cool. I like that they got the guy who created Bad Cat involved in the production and let him write the film. Get it right from the source. But from what I can tell, the movie had a limited release and did not do well at the box office. The best info I can find on this is on IMDb, and according to them, worldwide, Bad Cat only made $1.5 million. Also, I tried to find out how much the movie cost, but couldn't find anything about it, so that's a bit of a mystery. Despite not doing well at the box office, the folks who made the film were really adamant about getting their product out to film festivals, to which they were successful. Could you imagine being some kind of artsy-fartsy cinematic snob and then seeing this at your film festival? My god, why are these personas having sex on the screen? Pass the cheese. Is that what film critics eat? Cheese? Did you just offer me cheese?
I'd love some cheese, thank you.
Despite not being a massive success financially, Bad Cat has solid ratings from critics and viewers. Like, it's pretty high up there. But ultimately to me, the coolest thing from this entire experience is seeing more animated content from other countries and get a chance to see life from their point of view. Bad Cat is absolutely a product of the lives and surroundings of its creators, and I respect that. And if you're hungry to see more, you can check out Bullion's Instagram, where he posts art and his inspirations and just his comings and goings with his life. I like his style. It's cool. Oh, one last thing. There was a Bad Cat mobile game? Okay. Yeah, while you guys were mastering Call of Duty, I was playing Bad Cat and Killer Bean on my phone. Make way for the real gamers. Alright, so what's the movie about? Well, like I said, the story takes place in Istanbul. There, we meet our main character, Shiro. And right off the bat, we get an idea of his personality. Well, can't say that he doesn't live up to the name of the movie. They make it immediately clear that this is a world where animals and humans are equals. Shiro rips into his owner. Then he goes outside and rips into his friends. Animal, human, doesn't matter, you. And the guy's an absolute jerk. And I both love him for it and hate him too.
What the hell? You call that music? Sounds like your mama gave up the cello, took up the chainsaw, and used it to saw through her fat ass!
Shut your cat flap!
But then the movie goes into overdrive. This is what happens within the first 15 minutes of the film. Okay, here we go. Shiro and his friend run off so they can go hook up with a girl cat. They break into a house. They kill the cat they wanted to hook up with on accident. They get into a fight with the owner. The friend dies in the fight. The owner dies in the fight. And then we're introduced to Shiro's illegitimate son named Taco, who's trying to find his father because his mother tragically died and Shiro won't accept him because he doesn't care. Yep, 15 minutes. That all happens in 15 minutes.
Write that down, write that down!
If it isn't apparent yet, this movie takes full advantage of its mature rating. You got booze, you got sexual tension, there's violence, there's bad language, there's murder. Yeah, they go all out in this movie, and it looks like they had fun with it too. We then meet the love interest for Shiro, Miss Cat. I say love, but let's be real here. It's a lot more surface level than that.
There is no time like the present. What do you say?
I love it.
Y'all ready for the plot to go on another wild ride? All right, let's do this. The owner who died came back as a zombie and wants revenge on Shiro for presumably killing his cat. They get into a fight. The zombie guy dies. He comes back and kidnaps Taco. They get into a fight. The zombie guy dies again. Shiro and his friend decide to rob a bank. They get into a gunfight with the police. The zombie guy comes back again. He shoots Taco. The zombie guy dies again. Shiro and his owner are able to save Taco's life. They get into a fight with the zombie guy. The zombie guy dies again. This time he explodes. And then Shiro and Miss Cat hook up, and then light the world on fire with their sexual fury. Yeah, and that's the movie.
Wow, my head's spinning.
I I know it's silly to summarize the movie in such a bulky way, but I basically have no choice. The film is all over the place and lacks focus. That's honestly one of its biggest faults. Just when you think the movie is going in one direction, bam! They hit you with a bank heist right out of nowhere, and it's incredibly jarring. But I guess that's the nature of the beast when it comes to the chaotic world of Bad Cat.
We're here. What, rob a bank?
Why not?
All right, let's go over my 5 points. First, the story. The film lacked focus with the story it was trying to tell, and it was everywhere. At one point, Shiro is all about Miss Cat, but then he randomly runs off to rob a bank with his friends, and we don't see Miss Cat until the end of the film. Okay. Now, for all I know, this could be based on the original comic, and maybe they're paying homage to the old strips. Sadly, I can't find much in the way of Bad Cat comics online to verify this, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was the case. Fritz the Cat kind of did this with their movie, where it's like somewhat based on the comics, which is why it felt so segmented and non-linear. I get the same vibe here with Bad Cat. Now, when it comes to running themes in the overall film, it boils down to a handful of things. Will Shiro connect with his son? Will Shiro and Miss Cat hook up? And will the zombie guy get his revenge? And that's about it. Everything else is kind of spotty. As far as the characters and their personalities go, I did not really care for them. Shiro had his moments and changed a little bit throughout the film, but everybody else was pretty two-dimensional. They're mean, they're vulgar, they're violent. Only Taco and the store owner are kind at all. Everybody else sucks. Also, I feel bad for the zombie guy.
Princess! No! Princess! 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 My baby! Oh.
The dude loved his cat and was just going about his day, and then comes home to see some random cats who broke into his apartment, and then sees his own dead cat on the floor. I'd want revenge too! I don't even care if it was a misunderstanding. I don't fault the guy for a second. Now, I will give this movie points for being weird and out there, and that the characters are the product of a rough and tough city. But I really wish they had more heart to them. And again, the lack of focus with the story does noticeable damage to the overall plot and leads to pacing problems. But hey, we got ourselves another entry into the Roadside Romeo cinematic universe. We're expanding on this world. Will he hook up with Shiro and stop the guys from the Secret Life of Pets? Next, there's the voice acting. It was okay. Nothing outstanding, but nothing terrible. It's not like the voice actors for the dub phoned it in or anything. I think Shiro's voice was my favorite. It sounded very deep and gritty and rough at first, but it grew on me. Taco was pretty cute too.
And what is this chance to stay he talks about?
If you must know, I'm on a mission from God.
So overall, for the voice acting, I'd say it was sufficient. After that, there's the dialogue. There are times when the dialogue was clunky, especially with the vulgar exchanges and how they rip into each other. But like Shiro's voice, this too would improve throughout the movie. Now, I was hoping for some more meaningful exchanges, but that did not really happen outside of Shiro and his owner trying to save Taco's life. Outside of that, just vulgarity and back and forth and ripping on each other. Though I do like the dynamic of the humans being able to talk to the animals. That was interesting. I like that. Then there's the editing. Honestly, not much to say here. Though there were some cuts that felt very sudden, like the scene would just immediately end. And that was a little jarring. The music was meh. Though a shout out to the bullet sound effects. There was this gunfight with the cops, and I really liked the sounds of the bullets. I don't know why, it felt real to me. Good sound effects. I'm glad you all didn't use some kind of stock sound. Unless that was stock sound, and I don't know. And finally, there's the animation. This was the best part of the movie. Now, at first, I saw these characters, and I thought that they were inconsistent with one another. Like, this guy looks so different compared to this girl. And Miss Cat and Shiro, I don't know. They did not really seem like they were from the same universe to me. But, like many things in this film, it grew on me. And the stylized designs, I think, overall, work. Especially Shiro. I like his bottom jaw and his big old eyebrows. They make him stand out in a stylized way. Oh, and the setting, looks great. There are so many animated movies that take place in a city, and the city is empty. It's just buildings and people and cars, and even then, it's like, where are the trees? Where are the stores? Where is the life, the essence of the city? Norm of the North 2, for example. But here, in Bad Cat, we get that, and we get it from an original point of view. This is Istanbul. This is their take on their city, with the way that people sit on the rooftops, and how there's cats all across the city. And that way, it was very original, it felt alive, and it was well done. So on that front, good job, the setting is great. And you can tell that they were really proud of their city. The movement and the facial expressions were good. The fur on the characters with the textures, that was fine. The water effects caught me off guard. I expected a really bad splash, but that's fine. Look at that. You all know what you're doing. Overall, the visuals were competent, and they were successful with copying the style and the overall energy from the comic. Heck, they were even able to sneak in some Bad Cat comics into the movie. For a debut film from a Turkish animation studio, Bad Cat looked great and showcases the talent and dedication from its team. Y'all keep it up. You guys have potential.
Look out! I think Moto likes you.
Now, how would I improve the film? Two things: focus and substance. Focus in the sense of a clear, linear plot, because throughout this movie, I got bored. There were parts where it dragged, with pacing problems. There were parts where it just went off in random directions that was hard to follow. You all needed a stronger framework to stick with. Shiro and his son, focus on that. Don't go off on some random bank heist. That wasn't needed. It almost felt like you all ran out of story and said, what do we do? Rob a bank. And then as far as substance goes, I guess it would be nice to put Shiro in a position that really twist his wrist. Get him to feel uncomfortable. Throw him into a situation where he has to talk to his son more, where he has to grow with him. That would have been nice. There was like one scene where Shiro taught his son how to punch by punching his son. And that was the only part in the movie that felt like it had any real heart to it. Like, I get it. He tried to save Tako's life after he was shot, and that was supposed to be a deep, meaningful scene. But to me, it just felt more reactionary. Substance and focus. Give me that, and the story for this movie would improve tenfold. Well, at least to me. I'm okay with vulgar stuff, but back it up. It means so much more when it comes from characters who I like and who I care for.
That's when I decided no more squirrels.
But they're just like you. They're f***ing nuts.
Ugh, that's terrible.
Overall, this is not a fantastic film, but it's far from being terrible either. If anything, I would call Bad Cat an experience. You get to look into a different world. You get to see it through the perspective of these creators from Istanbul. You get to learn about a comic that is important to these people, and you get a slice of their culture, which, let's be real, doesn't really happen that often on an international level. It's refreshing to see a different perspective, to see people tell stories and share characters from across the world. In that regard, the movie has heart. But when it comes to the characters and the actual story, it was lacking on that front. Here's hoping that we see more from this studio. They do have potential, they have talent, and they have stories to tell. So, I guess we'll see what the future holds for them. Hopefully, it's more weird, adult, animated stuff. Lord knows my channel loves that stuff. I don't. Shut up. I mean it. I don't. This stuff sucks. And I'm never gonna review stuff like this ever again. Ooh, what's this?
Thoughts of women around the world, one with Kent.
The way to beat Rene is to take a quick lead and break his concentration.
Oh god, no. I didn't mean to like ooh-woo, what's this? I meant actual ooh, what's this? I should just be quiet. I'm leaving now. I'm going. Bye.